Hi, hello everyone. Welcome back to Elizabeth Raghava Social Studies. This is Elizabeth Raghava. So today I am here with a topic Russian Socialistic Revolution from 1917 to 1922. So here today I am going to give you a very clear explanation about the Russian Socialistic Revolution that has taken place from between 1917 to 1922. So here I am going to give you a very clear explanation about this topic, which is an important topic. So here the Russia was ruled by the Tsars emperors in early 20th century, and it was in a vast area of a land spread over two continents, that is Europe and Asia. So that is the reason it had been called as an Euro-Asian powers. So this Russia was once upon a time during the 20th century. It was ruled by the emperors Tsars Nicholas. So it is a vast area of that means the land which is spread over two continents, this Russia, that is between Europe and Asian countries. So that is the reason it is known as a Euro-Asian power. So it had a third largest population in the world, that is 156 million after China and India. So we all know, according to the population of the world, according to the population in the world, the India and the China are the two largest countries. Here the third largest country is the Russia. So here it comprises of several nations like Russia, Ukraine, Kazakhstan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, etc. So the livelihood of this most of the Russians came from agriculture. So the main their work is agriculture. So here the struggles between these peasants and the feudal landlords for control over the land, and the feudal
So here
landlords
the
own most
peasants
of
they
the lands,
paid
and
rent
most
for the
peasants
land
paid
which
rent
they
for
have
the land
tilled.
they
So here
tilled.
the Sir
So here
Nicholas
they were
ruled
mostly the
over
struggles
his
between
vast
Russian
peasants
empire
and
and
with
the
the help
feudal
of
landlords.
army and
So
the
the peasants are
bureaucracy.
nothing but the
So the
farmers,
bureaucracy
and the
is
feudal
nothing but a
landlords are
system
nothing
of
but the
government.
big
Most decisions
landlords.
were taken
So
by
there are
the
many struggles
unelected
between these
officials. So here
peasants
the
and the
Sir
feudal
Nicholas
landlords for
ruled this
control over the
Russian
land. So here
Russia.
the feudal
So with the
landlords
help of
owned
the
the most
army
of
and
the
the
lands from
some
the farmers,
unelected
and
officials. So here the Russian economy had suffered a lot by the First World War, and the Russian army was the largest in the whole world before World War I. So here if you observe, so here the Tsar Nicholas ruled this Russia with the help of the army, Russian Empire, with the help of the army and the bureaucracy, which is a system of government. The most of the decisions were taken by the unelected people. So with the help of these people and the army of the Russia, so this Sir Nicholas he ruled the vast Russia. So here the Russian economy has suffered a lot after the World War I has taken place. So the Russian army is one of the largest army in the world before World War I. So by 1917, Russia had lost its life. So for 2 million soldiers and the civilians. So here by the time of 1917, that is before the end of the World War I, so the Russia has lost its civilians and many people from their country, that is nearly 2 million soldiers and the civilians are the citizens of Russia, common people of Russia. So it became a biggest losser of human lives in the World War I. So it is the biggest loss of the human beings, human lives in the World War I by the time of 1917. So a large amount of food was supplied to the war front during the war. So this led to the shortage of food in the cities. So here what happened, a large amount of food was sent to the armies who are participated in the World War I. So here this led to the shortage of food in the Russian country. So on March 8th, 1917, around 10,000 women of the capital of St. Petersburg took out a procession demanding the peace and bread. So here on March 8th in the year 1917, nearly 10,000 women of the capital of St. Petersburg, they took a procession as a demanding what, peace and bread. That means there was a crisis for the food because of a huge food is sent to the army people who participated in the war. So in the year 1917 on March 8th, the 10,000 women they led to the what, procession demanding the peace and bread. So here the workers also joined them in this protest. So the workers in this Russia, they also joined in the protest of women's on March 8th. So the Sir Nicholas was really upset by these protesters. So he used to rule that country, right, Russia, by the time of 1917 with the help of army and the bureaucracy. So here he was totally confused with the protest which was led by the women's. So here he ordered the army to suppress the demonstrators, and in just 2 days the situation became so bad that the Sir left his throne and escaped. So here the Sir Nicholas, he ordered the army to suppress these demonstrators who participated in this procession or like a protest. So even by firing at them, so he have given the orders to the people army to fire at them and to stop these demonstrations. But within just a couple of days, that is within 2 days, this protest situation became so bad. So here the situation is completely difficult. So Sir Nicholas, he left the throne and he escaped from the Russia to protect himself. So the Russia made a provisional government. So here the Russia made the provisional government by the fall of Sir Nicholas II. So the provisional government is nothing but the temporary government to rule the country. So this was the first Russian Revolution of 1917, and it was called as a March Revolution. So this is the first revolution that were taking place in Russia in the year 1917, and which is called as a March Revolution because it was started in the month of March on 8th in 1917. So this is a revolution which was led by the 10,000 women of St. Petersburg capital. So that is the reason it is named as a Russian Revolution. So a bigger revolution took place later in October in 1917. So the first revolution which was started in March, then after another, the largest or the biggest revolution that were taken place in Russia is in 1917 in October. So it was not spontaneous. The liberals and aristocrats ruled Russia after the abdication of a Tsar. Tsar Nicholas. So here the liberals and the aristocrats, liberals are nothing but the ex-kings, ex-ministers who ruled that, and like a priestess in the churches. These all people they comes under these aristocrats and the liberals. So here these aristocrats and the liberals they ruled the Russia after the fall of the Sir Nicholas. So here they decided to continue the war to save the honor of Russia. So here these people, as they uh, took control over this Russia, so they did not drop from the war. So in honor ante in respect of a country, so they continued the war. They did not ended the war. So but the common people they were tired of the military actions and the economic shortage and did not want the war. But here the common people are quite against to these liberals and the aristocrats who are ruling that Russia after the fall of Sir Nicholas. So here they are completely against to the war because they got fed up. They got fed up with the wars and the what we say military actions and the economic shortage they have seen, they have experienced in the Russia. So they don't want to continue the war. So here they were tired with the military action, economic shortage, and they don't want the war. They began organizing themselves in the councils which were called as the Soviets. So to end up this war, to bring the unconditional peace in Russia. So here these common people has began organizing themselves in councils, and which were named as the Soviets. And these Soviets of soldiers, industrial workers, and the people in the rural areas were united by a group of a Russian Communist Party called the Bolsheviks. So this common people of soldiers and the rural people and the industrial workers and many other people, they all united like a group, and which is named as a Russian Communist Party. And this Russian Communist Party which was created by the group of Soviets, soldiers, industrial people, and the people from the rural areas. These all people together they have formed the Russian Communist Party, and this party name is Bolsheviks. This communist party name is called Bolsheviks. So these groups represented the common people
power. So these are the group of people, they are representing what? Common people's power. They are demanding for the common people power. So this Vladimir Lenin, that is from 1870 to 1924, he was a leader of the Bolsheviks. That means this Vladimir Lenin, he is a leader of this Bolsheviks. That means he is a leader of this communist party, which is organized by the group of group of a people, group of a common people. So these Bolsheviks were able to get the support of the Soviets because they demanded for immediate and unconditional peace. So these Bolsheviks were able to get what? Support of the Soviets. So here already the Soviets, who are Soviets, the common people, they themselves organized like in a councils, and they are named as a Soviets. So these Soviets and the group of soldiers and the workers, industrial workers, and the people from the rural areas, they all formed a group called Communist Party, Russian Communist Party, and that name is Bolsheviks. So this Bolsheviks is headed by the Vladimir Lenin from 1872 to 1924. So these Bolsheviks were able to get the great support of the Soviets because they demanded for the immediate and unconditional peace. Because already these Soviets, who are the common people of Russia, they have experienced the economic shortage in the Russia because of like a huge food was sent to the army people during the World War I. And not only that, because of the internal conflicts, because of the civil wars that were taking place in Russia, so the people has experienced what? No peace in their country. Okay, like completely all disturbances in the country. So here they are demanding for what? Immediate and the unconditional peace. And they also demanding for all the lands that should be nationalized and redistributed to the peasants. Why? Because the rural people were also joined in this Bolsheviks group. So here the people, already in the beginning of the lesson we have discussed about the struggles between the peasants and the federal landlords. So these peasants lands were taken by these federal landlords, and the peasants where they have like used to do the farming, that is on the land which they have tilled. So here those, for those lands they used to pay the rents. So that is the reason. So the immediately when they were when this party is formed, Bolsheviks party, Communist Party, so here the people, they demanded for the redistribution of the lands to the peasants. So the Bolsheviks wanted control over prices and the nationalization of all factories and also banks. The Soviets under the Bolsheviks leadership seized power from the provisional government in October to November 1917. So here after the fall of Sir Nicholas, the Russia was ruled by the like the Russia was ruled, formed the provisional government, and that government is ruled by these liberals and the aristocrats, right? So here as the Bolsheviks, the group were formed. So the Bolsheviks, with the help of the Soviets, like they wanted to control the prices and the nationalization of all the factories. And not only that, and they also, the Soviets, under the Soviets, these Bolsheviks, they also seized the powers from the provisional government, that is from the liberals and aristocrats, during the month of in the month of October to November in the year 1917. So they immediately took steps to end the war and redistributed the land. So this Bolsheviks has played a very important role here. They took steps to end the war after the this revolution started in October. Once they have taken the power from the these liberals and aristocrats, they have taken the steps to end the war and also to redistribute the land. And Russia could not return to complete peace because a civil war was started in the country. So here they were trying to end the war, but here the civil war is nothing but internal conflicts within the country. The wars within the country was started. So that is the reason they failed to bring the peace in the country. So these wars were led by the white armies of Russia, that is the monarchist and the anti-communist soldiers, with the help from the Britain, France, USA and Japan. So here this war was led by whom? White armies of a Russian monarchies, and also the people who are against to this communist party. So these people, they have led to the war within the nation with the support of Britain, France and USA and even Japan. So they were all defeated by 1920. So the Bolshevik also announced the end of the Russian Empire and permitted the various nations under it to become independent. So here who were supported these Russian white armies are also, that means this Britain,
France, USA, and Japan. So these all countries got defeated by the time of 1920. So here the Bolsheviks announced the end of the Russian Empire. Completely, he has kept an end to the Russian Empire and permitted the various nations under it. So the various nations which are under this Russia, so they have announced the independence. So independent. So here the gradually most of the nations that came under the empire of a Tsar agreed to join the Union of a Soviet Socialist Republic, that is USSR. So which was set up by the Soviet government of Russia in 1922. So the Russia name is USSR. USSR means Union Soviet Socialist Republic. So the countries, the nations who which are under the control of the Tsars, so here they have come under the Bolsheviks. They have joined this Soviets group. They have agreed to join in this Soviet groups who used to under the control of Sir Nicholas. So by the time of 1922, so which was set up by the Soviet government of Russia. So here after the death of Vladimir Lenin in the year 1924, so here the another person who came to control this Bolsheviks group, and he is known as an Stalin. So here after the death of Vladimir Lenin, Stalin took the control of this Bolsheviks. So here he came up with like different ideas for the economic development of Russia, and completely as he took the control over this Bolsheviks, he has put an end to all the opposition parties in Russia, and he came up with a 5-year plan, 5-year plans, like new programs. So he started the economic development with a 5-year plan. The main aim of this first 5-year plan is development of industries and the collectivization of the agriculture. So he has started the program of a first 5-year plan, and which he was successful with these programs, and he started developing the economy of the Russia. So here in this way the Russia has victorious in the revolutions. So here the Russian Revolution, which became a inspiring story to many countries, the countries which were ruled by the dictatorships, dictators and monarchies, kings and the many exploiters. So the Russia which remained as a good example, okay, how they fought for their country to become an independent. So here the Russia became a best example in the world, and many countries got inspired by these Russian revolutions. So let us discuss in the next video about the impact of a Russian Revolution on the world and the economic depression from 1929 to 1939. So this is what about today's video. I hope you understand the topic, and I hope this video will be helpful to many students. And if you like my video, please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Keep supporting like this, and definitely I'll give you the best and best topics, best explanation. So don't forget to like, share and subscribe my channel. Bye bye.